Hello, guys, and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, your host as always, and today I am talking about the power of no. So, if you're intrigued, let's go to the show. As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time, and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing, or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer, or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Hello, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. Funnily enough, it's another sunny day over here down south. I hope it's nice for you guys. We've had a bit of break in the weather with some rain yesterday, so it's a lot fresher today. I know I always start with the weather because it obviously is such a big impact on our work. So, something we always monitor all the time and something that dictates what we tend to do and sometimes how well our businesses are going. So I hope it's bright and sunny where you are. So today I'm talking about the power of no, but also the struggles behind just the no and all the other things in between. Right now it's Monday, we've just had Father's Day, and if you've been watching a lot lately or follow me on TLC, you will know that I have been helping my brother organize and sell my dad's business up in Cambridge. And the power of saying no kind of came to me yesterday. It was quite an emotional day because I got very, very cross with people not knowing, basically overstepping boundaries and taking things into their own hands when other people have already done, decided to do something. And I kind of started thinking of it in the way of business. So it's kind of like when you have a team and your team are all doing the same jobs, that nothing's really getting done and people are stepping on each other's toes. It doesn't work very well. So there's no leadership or direction. Well, that's kind of how it is in my entire dad's side of the family. And so everyone is trying to get involved with things, but they don't actually want to take responsibility for anything. So everything is mine and my brother's responsibility to deal with, but then they start treading on our toes and doing things almost behind our backs in a weird way. Not behind our backs, it's nothing sinister, but just stepping on toes, going and doing things which we were already doing, which has impact on those decisions we'd already made. And I took a step back yesterday because really I had to start thinking about what I want and what the end game was. And that's kind of what I asked my brother as well. What is the end game? Because ultimately, we both have other lives. I have two businesses, as you well know, a landscaping business, which is currently in a growth phase. We're launching something brand new in the next couple of months, which I'll be talking about more in the podcast. And we're taking on more staff, everything really positive. But in a growth phase, you're also concerned about cash flow. We have obviously things going on jobs, some things that you can't really mitigate against. Things happen, jobs overrun. I also have one of my team leaders going away for paternity leave for 2 weeks, and I'm going into hospital tomorrow. So I'm going to be out of action for part of this week. All of that aside, I then had to start thinking, why the hell am I taking upon myself another business? And why am I getting involved? And of course, there's the emotional side where it's for your family. So you feel kind of obliged to step in. It's my dad's business. He's been running it for, 15 odd years. But then I've got to remind myself that the reason he's in this space and the reason he's on the decline is through his own health choices. So he has been an alcoholic for as long as I can remember. And only now in his 60s is this catching up and creating massive health problems for him. So why is that now my problem? He's damaged himself and now it's fallen upon me to sort out the business. And then I also started thinking about, well, at the moment, my dream goals and my dream life feels very much far out of reach because I keep getting dragged into family politics and dragged into this whole business that I never wanted to be part of in the first place. In fact, when I wanted to have a part of it a few years ago, I was told no. So why now am I hell bent on helping him out when, quite frankly, he didn't help himself. And it's not my responsibility. And I think that's what I want to share today is, are there things that you currently do because you feel responsible, an innate weird sense of responsibility, maybe because it's family, maybe because you feel you should do it? Are you being guided more by your emotions than your brain? Because that's how kind of I felt. And also, when you become very emotionally attached, as soon as things go wrong, or like yesterday I had a huge argument, it impacts my life. So by having that argument with my dad and my nan, it impacted my day with my children and my husband. So I've kind of woken up this morning thinking, what do I actually want? And I've realized I don't want this third business. I don't need the extra stress. I kind of want to focus on my landscaping business and TLC clients and helping them in their landscaping businesses, because that is what I'm truly passionate about. And I don't want to be impacted by those people. I spoke about it on Friday Thoughts last week, about who you surround yourself with and how that matters, and how I'd surrounded myself in this amazing group of women on the Thursday last week, and it really elevated my energy. And on the flip side, by the end of the week, so from between Thursday and Sunday, I had managed to go from really high, elevated energy, feeling good, feeling really positive, down to yesterday, feeling quite sorry for myself, very upset. And it was bringing up lots of pushed back, repressed emotions from childhood. That's a bit deep to go into on a podcast. But essentially, how do you go from there so high down to there? And it's all about, I think, being able to say no, putting those boundaries in place, and most importantly, who you allow into your life. Now, I think family get a free ticket, really. Because they're family, we feel they get to be in our lives. And at the moment, I'm kind of thinking it's not good for them to be in my lives, because it makes me a not very nice person. It makes me very reactive, very angry. And quite frankly, it makes me miserable. So I've woken up this morning and I've decided that I am not going to be helping with my father's business anymore, other than helping get with the sale if that's what happens. I'm not going to be running it. I'm not going to get involved on a day-to-day. In fact, I'm just going to hand it all over to whoever the hell wants to deal with it, because quite frankly, I'm ready to say no. I'm ready to put up my boundaries and do things that do not serve me. It may sound very selfish, and it does, but I think part of that is to keep our self-preservation, and to keep ourselves happy. We need to be able to be confident enough to say enough is enough. I'm not allowing this into my life anymore. And if I want to be in a highly elevated state of energy, and I want to attract that sort of opportunities, collaborations, everything to me, then I need to remain in that high energy, that high vibe. And it's very hard to do that when I'm being dragged in to something that's very low vibe, that's everyone's out for themselves. There's a lot of addiction there. Obviously, there's issues around that. There's also the whole, my nan, she's, coming up to 90. She's the matriarch. No one should say no to her, which I do often. So I am not, well, I don't impress them very much. But essentially, I think it's all about, when do we say no and enough is enough? And I think sometimes in business, we can get caught up. So I got caught up. I thought we could make this business great. And slowly but surely, it's been chipping at me. And I know it's only been a few weeks, but it's been a few weeks too many, if you ask me, because things have been coming out the woodwork constantly. So problem after problem after problem, you solve one, another one crops up. Now, that's just business, but it's also, it's not my business. I did not want this business. And I feel like I now need to put in that boundary to say, no, I'm stepping away. I have to, for my mental health, for my spiritual health, even for my physical health, and just so I can get the best out of what I am passionate about. And quite interestingly, when I went to the event on Thursday and met all those fabulous women, who had really high energy and really high vibes. When you go into a room and you can feel the vibe, it's quite impressive. I've never kind of had that before. And when I went there, we had to stand up and do our minute speech. And I'm used to going in there and just saying what we do. You know, hi, I'm Paula, I'm Aura Landscapes. I, you know, create outdoor spaces. And actually, they asked to start with your purpose and your reason why, which completely threw me, because I was like, whoa, how do I get up there and say this? And I had women in front of me who stood up, took to the front, was super confident, and just said their truth and their story. And I was like, wow, how the hell am I going to follow them? I don't even like standing up at the front of places to give speeches. It's not me. But I did it. I said, I will go to the front because I've got to follow these ladies and be swept away. And when I got up there, I wasn't scared. I just said the truth. And quite interestingly, the truth was, I am not passionate about landscaping. That is not my why. To be fair, I don't really give too much about landscaping. It wasn't my dream. That was Mike's dream all those years ago. And I just came along for the ride. But what I am passionate about, I'm really passionate about me and Mike working towards a common goal for our family. I'm really passionate about creating a business that supports my family in the best way possible. And me and Mike are on the same trajectory, the same journey to get there together. That's what I'm passionate about. And so through that passion, I've ended up starting TLC, what is now the Landscapers Coach, which was created to help people in the industry become better at marketing and growing their businesses. And now it's developed into a coaching space, which is far more what I'm passionate about, because I am passionate about helping other landscapers build their businesses, just like I helped Mike build his business. And it was really interesting because this all just came off the cuff, because I had no idea, but they were very shocked because initially they thought my passion was landscaping. And actually it isn't. My passion is support my family jointly with Mike. I find it really, really good. I mean, tell me, any husband-wife teams out there, and I know there's a few of you, I've worked with some of you, tell me if I'm wrong. It's not the landscaping or the business, it's the fact that you're working with your husband, for me, or your wife, on a common goal that supports your family. That is my why. That's what I want to do. That's why I do this every day. This is why I want to help other landscapers do the same for their family, to have a life that isn't all about working, that's about supporting their family and enjoying their family time. To protect that passion, I need to start saying no to things that do not serve me. And I urge you in this podcast to think about the things that you're currently saying yes to, you feel obliged to do, you have a family tie with, maybe you're too scared to say no to someone. Think about how it's impacting on you, because yesterday it really impacted on my family. It impacted on the time with my family, and it impacted on my emotions. So, you know, I wasn't a very happy person to be around yesterday. I was actually quite exhausted because of all the pressure that's been placed upon me from my family, because they expect it just because that person is my father. So think about it. It's something for you to think about this week. I will be recovering at home from tomorrow, having been to hospital. So if you want to drop me a line, I'll be in bed. Please do, and tell me your thoughts. I'd be interested to see if there's things that you're doing in business and life that isn't serving you, yet you haven't had the courage to say no. I want to say that I'm here for you if you want that extra courage and that extra boost, because I'm just about to start saying no in big ways. And don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. I feel guilt, I feel upset, I feel the what if, you know, it could be great. But I also know that it's detrimental to my family, my relationships, and my life. So I need to say no in order to grow. It's a good one, isn't it? Say no in order to grow. So yeah, that's me this week, and I will be back next week. If you are looking to work with me, and as I've said, I'm super passionate about helping you grow a business that supports your family. That is what I'm all about. That's what I'm doing in my life. And that's why I'm putting these boundaries in place. Do get in touch. We have a couple of spaces on the mastermind. We start our first mastermind meeting on the 7th of July. I'm really excited. We've got some really, really great guys on there who have so much to do in their businesses, but so much to give as well to the people that are going to be on the call with us. If you want to find out more, do drop me a line. It's paula@thelandscaperscoach.co.uk, or just drop me a DM on Instagram on any of the Instagram channels, the podcast or TLC. So yes, thank you for listening. I didn't realize I was going to be talking about this today until I woke up very clear-headed after thinking a lot about what happened yesterday. And I hope that it's made you think in your life where you could say no or where you should be saying no. I even spoke to someone who was too scared to change a contract they have with someone because it would upset them. And I think that what can happen when you feel loyalty to someone, or you like people, or your family, or whatever, you can feel like saying no is going to break that. Hey, it has to be done. You have to start thinking what is right for you, most importantly, your family and your life, your emotions. And we need to protect our energies. We need to protect our energies. If we're going to be going into this life trying to manifest our dream life, we need to protect the energy and protect, what's around us. So it's down to us. It starts with us. And yeah, if you need any help, do get in touch. Otherwise, I will see you next week for another episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. Thank you, guys.